In this episode of Anna Gare's Cab Fair, I meet Hamid, a cab driver for over 20 years.
Hamid, I am from Iraq.
I try my hand at making his succulent lamb soup and create some perfectly poached pears. Later, I call into Hamid's impressive family home and serve up a Middle Eastern-inspired menu. You must be hungry. And thanks for sharing your recipes. It's been really, really lovely. I'm Anna Gare. As a cook, I spend a lot of time getting in and out of cabs. I love meeting cab drivers from all around the world, collecting their recipes and then cooking it up for the whole family to enjoy. I'd love you to try one. Join me for Anna Gare's Cab Fair.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Okay. Where are you going?
I'm going to the Ibis Hotel in the city.
Okay, no worries.
So sorry, I didn't catch your name.
My name is Hamid.
Where are you originally from?
I am from Iraq.
Oh, wow. And when did you come to Australia?
I came to Australia 1995.
Did you come with your whole family?
Yes,
or?
yes. 3 sisters, 2 brothers, and mom and dad.
It must have been so hard. And how did you actually end up in Australia?
Yeah, after the uprising against Saddam, after the Gulf War, 1991, we make it like uprising against Saddam regime. Then we escaped to the border between Iraq and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And in the border, they make a camp by United Nations. And then we come here after like 6 months from the interview.
Wow, what was it like when you first sort of touched down on Australia's soil? How did it feel?
It's beautiful because we was in a desert, in a tent, and we came here to the beautiful country. Yeah.
I love all the Iraqi spices, all those kind of Middle Eastern spices. It's actually one of my favourite cuisines because it's so aromatic. A lot of the food is aromatic and beautifully spiced meats. And do you have any lovely sort of spicy aromatic soup recipes?
Yeah, it's a red tashrib.
And what's in tashrib?
Yellow tashrib and red tashrib.
Oh, I'm going to write this down. Can I write this down?
Yeah, yeah.
I love collecting recipes off my cab drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two types of the tashrib.
I'll go for the red.
Red one.
Just to match my
Yeah,
top.
the red one. We made the red one. First, we made the Iraqi bread. We bake it on the tandoor.
Ever since I had that food conversation with Hamid in the car, I've really wanted to cook his soup, that tashrib soup with gorgeous lamb in it. So he was telling me that he uses dried limes in his recipe, and I've never used these before, but I know that they're definitely from Iraq and they've been dried and salted and they look pretty exciting to me, but it's a good idea to remove the seeds because the seeds are a little bitter. And if you can't find these dried limes, I'm sure preserved lemons would also work. So now I'm just going to slice the onions, and he said in thin wedges. Into the bowl. And then garlic. All the best recipes start with onion and garlic. We'll just finely chop that. Right, let's get cooking. Now we start by browning the lamb, so we just add a little bit of olive oil to the pot. I'm so excited about this dish. And then we just brown 4 4/4 chops of lamb. Now Hamid said you could use any lamb on the bone. Chickens use the shoulder, but I'm using the 4/4 chops, which are actually from the shoulder. So it's really quite important to brown the chops because that's going to give the stock a really lovely, rich flavour. And chops are done. We're just going to remove them from the pot temporarily. I love the smell of lamb chops. And then we're going to add our onions and garlic and lightly fry until golden. So just give them a little bit of a stir. soaking up all that lovely lamb fat. I can tell I'm already going to love this soup. So these onion wedges are looking beautiful, gorgeous and brown. Now we're going to add some turmeric, about a teaspoon, and a pinch of cinnamon. Just cook it for about 30 seconds until fragrant, and then in with 1 litre of chicken stock. And then I'm going to add these lovely little Persian dried limes. In they go to do their magic. A generous spoon of tomato paste. So this is going to give it good colour. Give it a stir. I really love the little segments of onion floating around in there. They're just going to be able to suck them up when you're eating the soup. In goes some potatoes, just nicely diced, and then the lamb goes back into the pot. And then we're just going to slowly cook that over low heat for about 1 hour. Sprinkle of salt, dash of pepper, on with the lid. I think I'll go and have a little lie down. And the soup is ready. It smells insane. Right, now all we have to do is add some chickpeas, give it a little stir so they can heat up. Now, it's very traditional to serve this dish with bread. So I've got a lovely flat loaf of Iraqi bread here. And I'm just going to tear some off to put in the base of my plate. And we're just going to ladle some of this gorgeous soup in. Oh, and all the meat is falling off the bone. And I think it's okay to serve it with little bits of bone in there because you can suck all the juice out of them. Oh, and this is my kind of soup. There we have it, Hamid's tashrib soup. I've got to try a bit of the bread with it. Gorgeous. How old are your kids?
My kids, oldest 14, 13, 7, and the last girl 5.
4 kids?
Yeah, 4 kids, yeah.
Do they get into the kitchen? Are they learning to cook?
Yeah, the girl and the little boy, yeah.
Do they like making the bread?
The little girl, yeah, she loved it, yeah.
I cooked from such a young age. I loved it because it's so tactile. Like we started by learning how to make pizza dough. And for kids, that's really fun, just kneading the dough and getting it ready. And so what about your mum and dad? Are they still with you here?
Now, my mom and dad, they go back to Iraq because they like it over there. They can't communicate with the people here.
They found it harder to live here.
Yeah. Even hard life over there, but they like it over there.
So how old were you when you actually came?
Maybe 19, 20.
So what other dishes do you love?
Sometime we had dolma.
Is that wrapped in silverbeet leaves, or so they're like dolmades?
Dolmas, we put rice and sultana, some mixed like curry and stuff, everything. They put it together.
Now I'm going to show you how to make a gorgeous vegetarian dolma. Now dolmas is a vegetable or a vegetable leaf stuffed with a mixture of rice and sometimes lamb or rice and vegetables. I've got this awesome recipe. It's delicious and it's kind of Iraqi style. So here we go. I'm using silverbeet today. So first of all, I start by removing the stalk because we're going to use these leaves to roll around my mixture. And I'm going to reserve these stalks, and I'll show you why later. So we're actually going to blanch these leaves, make them nice and soft, and then roll our filling up in it. But I'm also going to use the stalk for the actual filling. And for this recipe, you're going to need about 24 of these. So I suggest you start planting them if you like the look of this recipe. Right, now all I'm going to do with these stems is just lop the little end off, because we don't like that. And then I'm going to finely dice them and add them to my rice mixture. And this is a wonderful way of using all of the vegetable. Right, we'll just line them up and chop, chop away. Now we only need a cup of this, so I reckon I've got about a cup there. So we're just going to pop that into this bowl. And then I'll just use these stalks as the base on my baking tray. They'll come in handy later. Now we're just going to blanch these leaves in boiling water, about 3 at a time. We just need them to become a little bit more pliable, but we don't want them to lose their colour. That's pretty good. Perfect. Into the colander. Okay, I think we can squash those last ones in. They're behaving very well. I love the way they become just that little bit more vibrant once they're blanched. And now we're just going to refresh these in icy water. And this way they'll maintain their lovely, bright, vibrant green colour. Back into the colander again, and then we're ready to make our filling. Now we're ready to roll. Right, and now to cook the rice. We're going to do it kind of risotto style. So I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to the pot, and then some diced onion and some crushed garlic cloves. So in goes the garlic. So the wonderful thing about making a dolma is you've really got a license to put any flavours that you want in there. Different countries treat it differently, and what I've done is I've sort of given it a bit of an Arabic spin, and I've got 8 lovely spices here which are really going to make it taste authentic. So that onion's looking fabulous. We're just going to add 1 1/4 cups of basmati rice. Now you can do this also with a borio rice, but I wanted to stick in with the kind of Middle Eastern Arabic theme. So basically we're just cooking off the starch for about a minute or 2. Now it's time for the spices. I've made a little mixture of spices here of cumin and coriander and pepper and paprika and nutmeg and cardamom. And this is going to give it a really wonderful, authentic flavour. Silverbeet stalks and the tomato. So we'll just stir this for another 2 minutes, and then we're ready to add the stock. This is smelling delicious. Now I'm going to add some sultanas to give it a little sweetness, a nice generous squeeze of lemon juice, and then we're going to add 2 cups of vegetable stock. So all at once goes in. Give it a stir, and then you don't have to stand over it the whole time. It takes about 15 minutes to absorb. So the mixture has cooled a little. It's super delicious, and it's just the perfect texture. It's not quite cooked, and so it will finish cooking in the tray. So now I'm going to add some lovely fresh herbs to this. I've got some parsley, some dill, and some coriander. So we just finely chop that all up. You could put any herbs in, really, like mint works really nicely with this combination of flavours. Could use basil. And we add it to the mix. And we're just going to mix those herbs in, and they're going to give it so much fresh flavour. So I'm baking these in the oven. Now, traditionally, they're baked in a pot with a plate on top and quite a bit of liquid and on top of the stove. But I find it much easier to just bake them in the oven. And I've laid a few of my stalks out. I've got a few sort of daggy leaves on top here, and I can use them on the bottom of the dish, and that stops the dolmas from burning on the bottom. So we lay down a few leaves, and the choice is yours. I like to roll them inside out so you actually get the veins on the outside, because I think they look more interesting. Here we go. Now you just have to cross over those little bits where we cut the stalk out to make it more secure. And basically just a spoonful in each leaf. And here we go. So we just roll over, tucking in the sides. You've got to keep it nice and tight. And see what I mean by the little veins on the outside? It looks really gorgeous. And then we just pop that into the tray. As simple as that. This is a great one to get the whole family involved. Lucky last one. Into the tray. Now, all I do is drizzle over some olive oil, 1/2 cup of veggie stock, juice of 1 lemon. This is going to keep them lovely and juicy. So I'll just cover them with foil. And they go into a 160-degree oven for about 25 minutes. And that's it. Did you meet your wife here?
No, I met my wife in Syria.
Did you meet? You went back over there and met her?
Yeah, I went there. Yeah, I went back there and we met there and we get married there, and we apply her like to come here, and after 3 months she come here. That's in 2002.
Must have been so hard. Did you have lots of relatives back home?
Oh
when you
yeah,
were-
all my relatives there. I still got two sisters over there, because when we came, they was married and they was with their husbands.
And they were all okay.
Yeah.
And what's the best thing about living in Australia?
Well, Australia, it's our country now.
Yeah.
We are Australian now.
Yeah, well, we're a very multicultural country.
Yes.
And I'm glad about that.
Yeah, Australia give us everything: education, medication, good life, everything. Everything is good.
I've got a beautiful dessert, and I think it's very kind of Middle Eastern style. I'm going to poach some pears in a gorgeous saffron syrup. So first of all, we start by making the syrup. Now, I'm using a dry apple cider, and this is non-alcoholic. That goes straight into the pot. This is one of those desserts that takes no time at all. Half a cup of sugar goes into the cider, a pinch of saffron, and I'm using a generous pinch. And they give such wonderful colour to any dishes, sweet and savoury. A vanilla bean when we're cooking the syrup, a stick of cinnamon, and then juice of 2 oranges. But I'm also going to use the rind of 1. So I'll just quickly get my zester and put some of that rind in there. Now we're just going to juice 2 oranges. And I'll use about 3/4 of a cup of juice, so this should be just perfect. So that's the orange juice in, and that's it. We're just going to pop that on the stove, bring it to boil, then turn it down and simmer it, and pop the pears in. And whilst that's happening, we're going to peel the pears. I'm using these lovely Burbosh pears. They're lovely and firm and perfect for poaching. And this is the kind of dessert that even non-dessert eaters like, because it's not too sweet. It has that lovely sort of tang from the cider. With a melon baller, or you can use a teaspoon, we just gently pour the pear to take out the seeds, but also it will help it to cook more evenly. Right, that syrup is smelling ready. So I'm going to bring that over here. Beautiful. So that's been simmering away just for 5 minutes for all those flavours to infuse. Now I'm just going to pop these little pears in there. And we'll just nestle this last little one in. And we're just going to poach them for about 15 to 20 minutes, and they're going to take on this beautiful, vibrant orange colour. So these pears are perfectly cooked, and as you can see, they've taken on all that lovely colour, and I can tell by just feeling them that they're ready. So we're just going to put these aside. I'm just going to pop this back on the stove now and reduce it until it's lovely and thick. So all I have to do now is pour this gorgeous syrup all over the pears and the vanilla bean. That's it, spiced poached pears. They're going to love it. Well, this is a first, an Iraqi feast with the whole family. I can't wait. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I've got
Nice.
lots of beautiful food.
Nice to meet you. This is my
Yeah.
kids.
Hello, I've heard so much about you. Hello. Hello, my name's Anna. What's
My
your
name's Ali.
Ali, hi.
Hello, my name's Taha.
Hi, Taha. And what's your name?
Tolga.
Hello, Toka. I've cooked some of your family's food. So your dad shared some of his recipes from his mother and your mother. And today we're going to have a feast. Are you kids hungry?
Yes.
We'll just pop it down anywhere. Have you all had a big day at school? You must be hungry. Is this looking like a sort of almost traditional tashrib?
Yes, yes.
I know you've been spoilt with your mother's cooking and your wife's cooking. But what do you think?
Very nice. It tastes very good. It tastes same we cook.
Oh,
A
great.
little bit of different, but
Yeah. I actually use the 4/4 chops because they're easy to find in the supermarket. But next time I will try the shoulder, the lamb shoulder.
yep.
Are you enjoying that?
Yeah, it's nice.
What about the bread?
The bread's very good.
you made it. It is, it's delicious. I just love the texture.
Yeah.
After being soaked in all the lamb juices, it's just really, really delicious. I'd like to come and make that with you one day. Are you normally this well-behaved and quiet at dinner? Or are you normally noisy? Are you just behaving because I'm here?
No, they always quiet. They just focus on food.
And thank you so much. But I was meant to come and feed you, and you feeding me straight back. Oh, yeah, the fasolia. So this is a mixture of, is it like cannellini beans and little chickpeas? So delicious. I just want to pick this chicken up and devour it.
Yeah, it's nice.
Thank you. I spent a bit of time getting all the spices right to make it taste authentic.
Yeah, it's nice.
I cooked this one because I think it's nice to end the meal on a nice sweet note. And I know that you produce a lot of saffron in Iraq. Yeah, saffron.
Yes.
So, Hamid, what do you think of the dessert?
Well, it's very nice. The first time I tasted like this one before, but yeah, it's very nice.
Thank you. I was inspired by all of your spices and flavours and the things we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I thought it might be a nice little finishing touch. Thank you so much for having me in your home, and thanks for sharing your recipes. It's been really, really lovely.
You're welcome.